Hello, and welcome to another edition of PaynePoints of Interest, where we talk about and answer questions relating to all things in small business. So grab your coffee, sit back, and join us as we start the discussion. All right, well, I'm your host, Sarah Harbuck, and with me is Ray Coleman, filling in for Michael Payne. Hey, Ray, how's it going?
Hello, everyone.
So I found this really interesting question on Reddit by the user Friendly Mountain Man. Great name. And he poses an interesting question that I thought would be a great discussion. It says, I am starting in 2 weeks building the foundations of what I hope will turn into my full-time business. I'm going to start flipping cars on the side, buying dirt cheap and fixing and selling, and then getting a dealer's license. But the only thing is I'm trying to decide if it would be more profitable to just go straight to the used car route, or should I try restoring old cars? My goal isn't to become rich. My goal is to do something that I love and work for myself. So what do you think, Ray? What should he do?
Well, he said two different things there. He said what's more profitable and that profit isn't his goal. So I have two different thoughts on it. The first thought is what's more profitable is going to be what you can sell. So if you have a clientele that is able to pay for custom work, that's more expensive than just selling used cars. So if they can pay for custom work, then custom work may be where you want to go to increase your profit. Otherwise, I would just go with selling used cars because you can do that all over the country without much trouble.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would say the biggest thing is the second thing he said. Like, is it going to make him happy? So if he is a salesman, then what he wants to do is sell. He doesn't want to spend all of his time working on cars. He wants to spend all of his time selling cars. If that's his motive, if he's a businessman, he likes business, he likes talking to people, he likes shaking hands and kissing babies and things like that to sell cars, then he's the guy that is for your used car lot. And you all know the used car salesman that can sell you a used car no matter if you just bought a new car.
Yeah.
That guy is meant for that business. If he's a craftsman, if he's an artist, if what he wants to do is work on cars and paint cars and make them look great and, make his clientele happy, he has a list of they come to him and has a list of all these things that they want their car to do or want their car to look like, and he can fulfill all of them. He's really happy and excited about to work on it. Then he should definitely do custom work, Or if he's somewhere in the middle, then he can do both. Like there's a hybrid
people to fill in the gaps.
Exactly. There's definitely a hybrid between selling a straight used car and selling a custom car, and there's a hybrid of how custom it is. You can just be bringing it back to factory settings. With an updated paint job, or you can be putting TV screens into the back seat. It's what kind of work do you want to do? So that's I would say concentrate for this guy. Concentrate on what is going to make you the most happy.
I think that's a great point to bring up, and one I hadn't really considered. What's his skill set? Is he craft, an artist, or is he a salesman, business person? The initial thing that comes to my mind with something like this is, I think the custom car thing sounds like a way better idea, way more unique. You can take that in so many different places, but the problem with it is the getting established and gaining a clientele is going to take you significantly longer. Now, he says his goal is not to become rich and he just wants to be financially stable, but the thing is with something like that can be so feast or famine.
If you're doing custom work, that is one of those things that is really about word of mouth. People need to have known that you have a reputation for doing good work.
Yeah.
Because honestly, custom work, people will go around the country to go to the guy that they think will do the best job for them on a custom job.
Yeah.
Because they have the money to spend. The only way I would say just open up your custom shop without having a reputation first would be if there's a whole clientele at your base. So that they already know you, they can see what you do, you can show them physically. Because it's going to be really hard to try and convey that online over these people who already have their their client list and already have the reputation out there.
That particular kind of a business would start out as something you would do at your own home, in your own garage. You restore a couple of cars for people. You take some pictures. You get the word of mouth going. It's going to take significantly longer. But probably if you are more of a craftsman, artist type individual, that's going to be significantly more fulfilling for you, I think, over the long run. However, you're going to have some challenges up ahead right at the beginning, because you're going to have to really gather a customer base, and that can be really hard with a particular business like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to just have a different kind of business and you enjoy cars, but you don't really, care about the ins and outs of the workings of them in terms of how they look, whether it's custom restoring and whatnot, you just find some really great deals on some used cars at these little auctions you can go to, and you like talking to people and you like helping them get into a vehicle that'll take them from point A to point B, then I feel like he's going to have a lot more success from the get-go, typically, with something like that.
I think that there's a profit to be had from selling used cars almost immediately.
I mean, definitely. I mean, think about how many used car lots are here in Lufkin alone.
Custom work, I think, is going to take some time to find the profit in it. You know, because you're gonna have those jobs where a person comes to you with X, Y, and Z, and they're going to get put down their deposit. You're going to do a lot of work for them. They're going to pull out. Yeah. You know, I mean, like things like that are challenging. With custom car work is a lot like doing custom anything work. Like it's like doing tattoos.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Any kind of custom job, regardless of the product involved, is going to be a little harder. You know? There's more involved. There's more time invested. There's more skills.
But there is more fulfillment, and honestly, there's probably more money in the long run.
Yeah. That's a long game you got to play.
But it's a long game to play. It's like you really got to be, this is what I'm going to do. You know, this is how I'm going to make my money and fulfill my life, is going to be doing custom work.
I mean,
part of the
reason why I ended up going into wedding photography is more of my specialty and my focus. Wasn't necessarily because I'm some big romantic and I just love weddings and they're amazing. I think that I have really, really connected with quite a few of my clients over the years and made some great friendships. For me, it was more of a long-term thing. You can make a lot more money with wedding photography than you can just straight up portrait photography. You have to do a lot more portrait jobs,
right,
to make the same amount of money if you're not doing in-person sales, which was not something I was really interested in doing. In-person sales takes that much more work and effort and time, and I didn't want to have to maintain a studio space. So, and weddings, each wedding is basically like a custom job, and I would sit down with every client and have a basic template that I went over with them in terms of their timeline, their wants and needs, but it was customized to their specific ideals. And while the price didn't necessarily always change based on the customizing of the timeline, it was definitely... weddings were more of a custom thing than just a standard, let's go out into this field of flowers and shoot a standard portrait session.
Right, yeah.
You know, so it was more fulfilling in a lot of ways because I built up a relationship, a longer-term relationship with these clients. Some of them, I still take their yearly family pictures with the babies that have come along and the pets and just all the different life milestones that have happened. So, you know, it was a slower burn in terms of success because you have to... You know, people theoretically only get married once. So
hopefully.
You don't have a lot of repeat clients on the wedding side of it. But it was a little more fulfilling for me, after working with just all the different types of photography. I enjoyed that scenario the most. So, and here at the tattoo shop, they do flash. They have a whole book out there that you can flip through and get it and pay a minimal fee for the most part. But the minute they say, well, I want to customize this with a color or writing or make it 50% bigger, I mean, as you know, that changes the game.
It's like, all right, we could do any of what you just said. Let's go ahead and see what your budget is again. Mm-hmm. Because you're adding time, and time adds money.
Yeah, custom work of any kind. You got to get their budget right up front, and that's another challenge with him in this used car custom restoring business.
How good is he at budgeting?
How good is the client at knowing what things cost and what they can spend?
I would say on custom work, like just like tattoos and just like photography, your time is worth a certain amount, and your ability to price your time is a very, very important skill that you may not be ready for.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this from a person who's experienced it. It takes a long time to figure out what your time is is worth if you haven't figured it out already.
Yeah, that's definitely a good place to start with something like that, definitely. Well, guys, I think that's going to be it from us today. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, if you have any questions or comments or things you'd like to add to today's topic, or if you want to be a guest speaker, we're looking for guest speakers. So you can find us on our website at PaynePoints.com, Facebook and LinkedIn at PaynePoints, Instagram at Payne.points, and Twitter at PointsPayne. You can now call us or text us at 855-PAYNEPT. That's 855-729-6378. Thanks, Ray, for today's discussion, and we hope everyone has a great day. And now let's get to work.
See you next time.